Wisconsin. Tonight, we're on to week 2 of the NFL season. We got a good one on tap, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Green Bay Packers. On the visitor sideline, Washington head coach Dan Quinn. His guys got the season started on a high note, a home victory in the opener. His counterpart on the Packers sideline, Matt LaFleur. His guys, on the other hand, weren't as fortunate in the opener, so they'll look for their first win here at home in week 2. After a great first week of football, what does week 2 have in store? The Commanders and the Packers underway on Thursday night primetime. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2021. Round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost. How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 18 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, obviously he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now this defense for the Commanders, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And they needed to be because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of the game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Love now. To the right side and intercepted. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber. An opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
So here's Washington now in excellent field position to start things out. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener through a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
Fix the Eagles! Fix the Eagles!
Play action. Now it's Daniels. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Following the interception, Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Ready.
Commanders 28-yard line.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Down to the 25. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming. Love will sneak it. And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one goes for 16 yards and sets him up 1st and goal.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Here's Jacobs. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
Ready, go.
Throwing, Love. This is caught. And it's a Packers touchdown. Tucker Kraft, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards right off the bat, but a first down. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
Ready.
On the ground, here's the 4th round pick from April's draft. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. They'll come up now 3rd and 9.
Here we go. Ready.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And that will be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Love going to break the huddle. Lead the Packers up here. 1st and 10 at the 20. He'll throw from the gun. Over the middle, complete. That's Reed. Still on his feet. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0.
Commanders, nothing.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Washington offense set to take over. And they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well?
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. You look at this Packers defense. Against the pass, they're hoping to trim in the opposite direction because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
And McLaurin going to pick up a Commander's first down as the tackle made up around the 33-yard line.
First down at the 33-yard line.
Now a give up the middle. This is White. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
60 by 6.
Opting to run again here with White. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 3rd down and less than a yard.
18 Cardinal, 18.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards.
Well, every time a goal line set is called, it's not always just used on the goal line. They anticipated this run here on 3rd and short, brought in the extra beef, and they ended up stopping them.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Ready, ready.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on fourth down.
Ready. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Go.
Daniels going to throw for it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
And the Washington first down.
Ready.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Ready.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Washington Commanders.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Come on, come on.
Now Daniels. His throw incomplete.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback, and that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St. Juice.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Green Bay's offense ready to go again. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
And still second quarter, you get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Cougar 19. Go.
Daniels looking to throw. Short throw taken in by Okonkwo. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And into the end zone, it's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick six to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick six. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Washington ready to try again on offense. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Ready.
Throwing after the interception. Daniels. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They need 2. Here's third down.
Come on, come on. Hit. Press all 80. Ready, ready.
To throw is Daniels. And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Oh, nice move. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And they will take over 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
It's second down and 10.
Let's go. 10,
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Ready.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and
Now Love. Able to find the open man. That's complete. He's to the 15. Touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to add on to their first half lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And a Washington offense heading out. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Daniels. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Love. Able to find his man, Kraft. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Tucker Kraft with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Packers open the lead up to 34-0. Extra point right down the middle. And that